Logging into DegreeWorks for faculty to be able to see student records is really easy. DegreeWorks is a web-based tool that allows students and advisors to monitor student progress towards degree completion. DegreeWorks combines Blue Ridge CTC's degree requirements and the coursework that a student has completed with an easy-to-read worksheet that helps you see how courses that they have completed count towards their degree requirements. And this helps you see what courses and what requirements that they still need to complete. For this, we've already logged into Bridge and logged into Faculty Services. So here you'll see a couple options, and the very first one is going to be DegreeWorks. Once you click on DegreeWorks, it takes you into the DegreeWorks worksheet where you can see and find different students even if you don't have their student ID. If you know the student's ID, the easiest thing to do is type the student ID right here in Student ID. If you only know their name, or if you're looking for a group of students, you can click on the Find button. You can simply type their first name or their last name. Here you have the option of looking at different degree codes, as well as narrowing it down to academic year, or by major, or by concentration. For this case, we are going to look just under the last name of registrar so we can pull up Testy's account. So then you're going to click on search once you've entered all your parameters, and you will have a list down here. There is a maximum of 200 students that will be pulled in one list, and you can look at all of those individually if you would like, or if you have one in particular that you're looking at like we do here, you can just click OK. Once the account comes up, there's some important things to look at. At the top, you'll notice that we have the student ID, the student name, the current degree that we're looking at, their major, and the last day that their audit was ran. When their audit was ran is important because if we are in an open enrollment term, if they go in and register in Bridge and you directly go into DegreeWorks, you will not be able to see that information because DegreeWorks only updates every 24 hours, and that is generally between 3 and 5 a.m. If a student has more than one degree, you will find that information located here. In this case, Testy has an AA and an AAS, and for the benefit of this, we are just going to look at Testy's AA degree in liberal arts. We do have a couple options here to look at. So in the top tab, you're going to see the name, which you can actually email the student from here, their C number, and your name as the advisor if you are their direct advisor. If not, you can also email their advisor. Over here, you'll see that this student does have a hold, and we do need that final Shepherd transcript to get that hold released. You will see the degree type, which is an Associate of Arts, the major is Liberal Arts, and the concentration is Liberal Arts Open Transfer. This student has completed a total of 39 credits. That does not include anything that they are currently taking or pre-registered for. Here you can see the overall GPA and the institutional GPA, both of which have to be above a 2.0 for any student to graduate. The confidentiality statement is something separate that a student signs that if they do or do not want us to release their directory information based on the FERPA policies. This will be the academic standing at the last term that they were registered for. This means that you may see a student who has suspended, but that means that we have overridden them because they have set out their appropriate amount of time, but that was the last true academic standing at the end of their term. Here you will see degrees awarded or applied for at Blue Ridge CTC and degrees that have been awarded elsewhere. You will also see where they went to high school as well as their high school graduation date. These 4 things are important if you're looking at somebody for a Board of Governors degree or West Virginia Invest when they cannot have another degree earned from anywhere else. At the bottom in the notes section here, if the student has signed a release of information that allows someone else access to their account, you will see that information listed here. So you will see who has access to their account and exactly what information that individual has on their account. As we scroll down into the degree section, remember, this is across every degree for this particular type, so all Associate of Applied Science degrees will have the same information here. Just a couple important things to note The academic year, which is also their catalog year, is listed over here, and this student is in the 18-19 catalog year. The last 12 hours must be taken in residence, which means the student's last 12 hours have not been taken with us, and they do not yet have 60 hours required for graduation. No matter if they meet the criteria in their major or not, they still need to have a minimum of 60 credit hours for graduation with an associate's degree and 30 credit hours of graduation for a certificate degree. This is really important when faculty waive courses. They still do need to meet that minimum credit requirement. As we scroll down, the next 3 boxes are all about prerequisites. So these are not necessarily courses that a student needs to complete to get their degree, but these prerequisite sections do assist you in placing them in the right section based on their test scores. If you want to see their raw test scores, there is a button right here that you can click on. The raw test scores will come up in a pop-up box. You can compare them to the sheets that we have based on test scores. However, the same information is here. For the Reading Essentials course, right now this is only required for education majors. So if you do not advise education or you're not talking to an education student, you do not need to worry about students taking English 100R. For this particular student, they did score below on their English test scores. Therefore, they do have to take the 101 and the 101L together, or the 110 and the 110L together. There are no other options before they take English 101 or English 110. For the math prerequisites, this student tested into Math 101 and Math 102. We do have a separate sheet that helps you remember what courses need to be taken to take the specific math in your major. But if the student would need to take Math 105, they would actually have to take Math 100A before they take Math 105. Math 101 and Math 102 will not provide the prerequisites for any higher level math courses. As we scroll down further, we do have the major and liberal arts section. Since the student meets the minimum overall GPA and the minimum institutional GPA of 2.0, you will see that noted in this section. The student does still, however, need to apply for graduation through their bridge account for the liberal arts program, depending on when they are going to graduate. The next section down that we're going to look at is kind of the beef of the DegreeWorks account. This is the liberal arts open transfer concentration. You can see that the student would still need art or music. This is commonly confused with some students. They do think that they need art and music when there is an or. So when you're advising students, just make sure that they understand that they only need one or the other. This particular student already has general physical science, fundamentals of speech, and their history class for their first semester courses. They do need English 101, and remember, as noted above with the test scores, this student does need the 101L to go along with the 101. They cannot go directly into English 101. When we look down at semester 2, we know that the student has previously taken general physical science, so we want to put them in the second half of the general physical science course, if at all possible, for their second science. They would also need English 102, History 102, and a math. Remember, they were eligible for Math 101 or 102, so they can go directly into Math 101. The political science course they have actually already registered for the upcoming semester, which is why it's highlighted in blue. As we scroll down a little further, the fall-through courses are really important. These take in 2 things for advisors. Courses that the student has previously taken that may not apply to their account, you can use as a substitution if you think that that actually satisfies one of the requirements that they have yet to meet. The other really important thing is you'll notice here the CGen 100 first year experience. They're currently registered for that course, but it is not part of the degree program. This means that the student is taking that class and it will not count towards degree requirements. It will affect their GPA, and most importantly for most students, they will not receive federal financial aid for that course. One other important thing is the notes section. You can see any notes that any other advisor or staff member has added for this student. You can see what they've discussed with them, and it's important when you talk to students, that you add your own notes into DegreeWorks so that you can refer back to them when the student comes back to you later. To add a note, we'll simply go up here to Notes, and you can click on Add Note. You can freeform type or choose a list of predefined items and then click Save. Once you do save a note, you cannot modify it and you cannot delete it. One other item that some faculty members use in DegreeWorks is plans. Plans are a preset sequence of semester 1, semester 2, semester 3, and semester 4 for a student to come in. They are pre-set up, and you can also manually put a student's information into a plan. This allows us to do some research off of their plans, as well as it sets up a satisfactory academic progress plan if financial aid happens to ask you for one. One other important note in DegreeWorks is the GPA calculator. There are 3 types of GPA calculators: the graduation calculator, the term calculator, and the advice calculator. These are more used for students, but especially the term calculator will allow you to go in and based off of what courses they are registered for the current semester, they can guess kind of what their grade is, hit calculate, and that will give them an idea about what their GPA would be at the end of the semester. This is a summary of what's offered within DegreeWorks for advisors. If you have any additional questions, please contact your program coordinator or the Office of the Registrar.